Whoa, that's amazing. Justin, why don't you roll over here in your autonomous drive mobility machine? What did you just demonstrate?
Well, so we just demonstrated the auto stop function. So as soon as I get close to an object or another person, it'll just automatically stop itself, so I can't run into somebody or a wall or any kind of obstacle in my way.
Now, you're showing this as a mobility solution, right? Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. So last year at CES, we launched our CI, which is our a mobility device for anybody that just needs to go a little bit further, get outside, go through tight corners. This year at CES, we're launching the autonomous version. So that's what I'm sitting in right now. Airports are really excited about it. Send somebody from security right to their gate autonomously. They don't have to worry about driving or running into people or bumping into obstacles.
And you don't need someone pushing it.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, so that saves a ton of effort on behalf of the airports for moving people around.
So do you have all the backend for this as well that would manage the units?
Yeah, so I think what you're asking is it's app driven? Is that what you're referring
Well, what I mean, yeah, of course there's going to be an app to summon it and so forth in some way, and then you have to identify that that's the right person to get into it and some sort of payment method. So there's a huge back end there, right?
Yeah. So right now we're working through that with the airports themselves, and that's really going to be step one for us. We've had conversations with museums, entertainment venues like arenas and that type of thing, but really where we see a long-term vision going is being that last mile of mobility, of travel for anybody on a sidewalk anywhere. Very similar to scooters that you see in a lot of cities today, but for folks with maybe some mobility challenges or not quite comfortable on a scooter. And it would have a very similar model to how those work.
Now, how would this hold up in the conditions of, the outdoors, the weather and snow and rain and so forth?
Sure. Well, I can actually speak personally on that. When I was in Winnipeg just a few weeks ago, had it out in the snow and it worked quite well. So it's the front wheels, because they have a bigger diameter than a typical scooter or a power wheelchair, allow it to get through ice and slush and gravel, rocks up a 2-inch curb, things like that without any difficulty.
That's remarkable. What about the mundane thing of sitting on a wet seat? How does that work out?
Yeah, well, you want to keep it dry. The seat's really easily removable and you can throw it into the wash. But that is the one thing with anything. If you're out in the rain, you're going to get wet.
Yeah, so I guess that's something. But it also looks like, it's got lights, so it's well illuminated. I expect this would go on sidewalks, so primarily, or?
Yeah, definitely in the future. Again, we really see step one as being in different venues, like an airport or like a entertainment venue, museums, things like that.
So more controlled environment.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely to start, and then long-term vision would be sidewalks.
And I assume in that scenario, it's walking speed type of.
Yeah, the current model goes up to 5 miles an hour, so it does go pretty quick. It'll get you to where you need to go. But yeah, that's definitely something that we'll be in conversations with. I'm sure different airports and different venues will have requirements that they'll want us to follow, and we'll just have to set the specific devices for them.
And it looks like you have a spot there for your luggage or for your suitcase.
Yeah, that's exactly what this one's been designed for. Yeah.
And from a cost perspective, is this the sort of thing that you see the user paying for, or maybe it's an amenity, or everything?
Yeah, we're really open to whatever the venues have. Right now, our Model CI is available for purchase to the end consumer, through retail locations or through our dealer network, and it sells for $39.99, so $4,000. This version that I'm sitting in right now, we currently don't have it priced, but we're looking at different models for them, like different sort of leasing options and things like that as well, so they can pay as you use it or as you go.
Well, I imagine it's a lot cheaper than a ferried vehicle, right?
Yes, much cheaper. And then even talking to airports, a lot of the airports that we're talking to, it sounds like they spend about anywhere from $45 to $60 per push, so per passenger that they have to move through an airport. So we can definitely show some significant savings for them using this device.
And from a technology perspective, what sort of things do you have on there?
Sure, so there's sensors on the front and on the back. It works very similar to autonomous car technology today. So as soon as it senses something in the way, it'll just automatically stop itself from running into it.
So is it using radar or sonar?
So these front sensors are actually stereo lenses.
Okay.
On the back, it's LiDAR.
Oh, okay.
LiDAR lens, yeah.
Excellent. And it's about $4,000 for the consumer version. How far will that take you, or how long can you run it in a day?
Sure, that one, you could go 10 miles. So it just depends on how fast you're going. Of course, if you're going up hills or down hills, that'll affect the range as well. But it's rated for 10 miles. So usually for a typical user, a couple of days for sure. And the battery is very easily chargeable. You can pull it right out of the unit, so you can leave it wherever you want and charge the battery. It's a lithium-ion battery, and takes about 5 hours for a full charge from empty, and off you go again for another 10 miles.
So for that airport scenario, you could actually swap batteries in.
Yeah, very quickly, and it's a standard battery for all of the units, so you can just pop one in and pop another one out, and off you go.
Excellent. Well, Justin, I appreciate it. And do you have one you could loan me for CES?
Yeah. Well, we do have a vendor partner that's renting them. Scootaround.
There you go.
They're renting them out at the out of the convention center here in Las Vegas.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Justin.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.